Rome was not built to the day, and you have to crawl before you walk. And on the 900th episode of the Joe Budden Podcast, they talked about money. So we're going to call this episode The 7 Principles of Building Wealth. Now, before we get started, as always, like, subscribe, and share to our channel. In real life, I'm a certified financial planner. I'm blessed to help thousands of people nationwide, but on these social media airways, we're giving information, and hopefully this information helps you become wealthy. You guys ready? Let go.
And you just wanna get paid, tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late, yeah. Pay for profits to help you seek change, and you just wanna get paid, yeah. Tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late, pay for profits to help you seek change, yeah. Cut the show and just listen. You wanna feel empowered by making money decisions. Residual by the hours can get you a better living. Been check to check, you know, and it could be different.
Read something to y'all that I saw. I think it'll be interesting from a wealth management firm. Just about mindset and lifestyle as it equates to money consumption.
Now, people consume money in all shapes and sizes. And the consumption of money, it goes a long way. And this piggybacks on mindset. The more disciplined you are as an investor, the more disciplined you are in your finances, it goes a long way. That's why we like to preach the 50, 30, 20 rule. If we're disciplined, for every $100 that we have, $50 goes to needs, $30 goes to wants, the other $20 goes to taxes and investing. It goes a long way. But the discipline that we have sets the foundation of building wealth.
And the different brackets, right? I thought this was really, really, really interesting. Low income, under $1,500 a month. Every expense feels urgent. Planning feels impossible. Stability is fragile. Money here is about getting through the month.
Wow, that's very serious. You think about $1,500 a month, which is $18,000 a year. What can you actually do? Well, a lot of people live on that, and that is a tight budget. That harkens back to the 50, 30, 20 rule like I talked about. So you have to be very, very strategic on how you spend money. Going out, not an option. Going out to eat, not an option. Finding ways to decrease all your bills, definitely an option. Cell phone, the lowest plan possible. Cable, shouldn't have cable. We should be streaming everything for the free screen on our phone, right? Those are the things that we can do so we have extra money. Now, prayerfully, because of that income that you have, it should be some type of tax breaks that you're getting, right? We have the standard deduction that helps us. If you have children, you should be taking advantage of the child tax credit. And we should be, for married filing jointly so that we can have that lower bracket because those incomes are together. Those are things we can do. But then I would actually push to see what can we do to get some other streams of income. Now, working outside of the house would not recommend it because you're driving, you're catching the bus, you're getting transportation. So what can we do in the house, right? What type of part-time job can we do? Is that, being on the phone? Is that, doing some type of tech for a tech company? Is that customer service? But everything we should be doing, it should be inside of the house, because anytime we step out the house, that's going to be expense. Gas is high. No ordering out to eat. We should be cooking every single meal we possibly can to cut down on expenses.
Yeah, man. Stably paid, $3,000 to $4,500 per month. Needs are covered. Progress feels slow. Saving feels difficult. You're surviving, not building. Okay.
This bracket right here is like the in-between, right? Because for college students, people that got like their first job or that raise where they're making, between $50,000 to $60,000 a year, a lot of Americans are in this space. And what happens is that once we kind of get that extra income, instead of saving it, instead of building passive profits that takes us into passive incomes, we spend the money. Very, very key. When you get that raise going from making $15,000 or $2,000 a month to $3,000, $35,000, $4,000 a month, we should live the same lifestyle. Just imagine if we continue to be in the house. Don't be outside. Don't go out to eat. Buy things on Amazon, or don't buy things at all, right? Staying in the house where you're here, where you're not spending extra money, goes a long way. So now with that extra amount that we have, that extra $1,000, $1,500, that should boost up our savings, whether that be going into your 401k. Now your company is matching on $1,000, that's $12,000 a year. If your company's matching, that's more money. Or saving up for that first rental property, or if you're still renting, saving up for that first house, because your house is your biggest investment, because now we have equity that we can pull out over time. This is the key. But typically most Americans, they feel like they can pay bills, but they feel like they're one step behind or one emergency from being back to where they were, making $15,000 or $2,000 a month. And that's why, because they don't have that savings built up. So once you get that raise and we're making $4,000 or $5,000 a month, we really need to live under our means and live like we was making $15,000 or $2,000 a month. And all that extra money boost up our savings and invest. Now, when we say invest, also invest in things that are liquid, right? Because if you open up a brokerage account, for example, and put money into that brokerage account, we can borrow against it. With your 401k, you can take a loan against your 401k. So we want to make sure that even if we invest our money, we're liquid. Also, from an investment standpoint, we want to make sure that we're more conservative. So maybe not the Russell 2000 stocks per se. Maybe it's the Dow 30 stocks, right? Because again, if we're more aggressive and something goes down and we need the money, then we might be out of luck, even if we take margin, because that margin might be called. So with our investments, we need to be a little bit more conservative, doing more index funds. Information, not a recommendation, for that reason.
Middle class, $4,500 to $6,000 per month.
Is it just me? Or is that you're working hard, but you're not seeing the financial results that you want? We're clocking in, we're clocking out, we have the income, we're making the money, but our wealth is not growing like we want it to. Well, my friends, it's not your fault. You know why? Because we're never taught how money works. We're taught how to spend it, but we're not taught how to leverage the money that we're making right now to build wealth. Now, wealth, it comes in all different shapes and sizes. The question is, how much wealth do you want for you and your family? But the best part about it is help us on the way. Join us during our 5-day mentorship, where you learn how to structure your money, reduce your tax liability, increase your net worth, and build wealth. We'll show you how to go from a wealth builder to a wealth strategist to a wealth creator, and leaving that long-lasting legacy to your family. Click the link below and join us on our 5-day mentorship, where we'll help you accelerate your wealth. Now back to the episode.
Routine expenses are manageable. I mean, you paying your bills, nigga.
This group in particular is why I started the Pathway to Passive Profits Challenge, because most Americans are in this space. They're making money, but money's going out. And they don't understand why. Like, they have some money, but the money is not growing like they want to. This is where we turn that switch from living beyond our means to still living beyond our means, but now using that extra money to really start to invest. And how do we start to invest? Well, this is where we want to do first tax strategies, because we can earn all the money, but if we're not keeping the money that we earn, then how are we helping each other? How are we helping ourselves? How are we helping our future? We're really not. So doing tax strategies like, as a W-2 employee, starting that consulting business. So now all that extra money, we can do a loan to us in our business, and that can then help us start to grow. So we now have 2 streams of nice income, our W-2 income and our consultant income. And with that consultant income, we get to now write things off of the house, like a room, the home office deduction. You can do the Augusta room. If you have children, you can put them on payroll. And if it's in an LLC, then they don't pay any payroll taxes. Those things is what we do to start the process of keeping more money that we're actually making. From a real estate standpoint, buying that first piece of property, and then doing a cost segregation study, cash out refi 6 months later, and do it all over again. This is where we start to actually grow our wealth. But most individuals, they don't do that. They get that raise, they're making that $80,000 to $100,000 a year. And what do? They're traveling and they're not writing it off on their taxes. If they had a side business, they could. Now they're going to Gucci. They're buying that first bag. They're upgrading their watch collection. Those are the things that you do not want to do. It's hard to make the money, but it's even harder to keep the money. And that's why you need structure, strategy, and systems to do that.
Lifestyle inflation creeps in.
Are you like the 83% of Americans who want to get a trust, who want to get a will, want to get a power of attorney, but you don't have one? Well, you are not alone, because 22% of Americans have one. That means 1 out of every 4 families have a trust, a will, and a power of attorney. Which bracket are you in? 1 out of 4 or 3 out of 4? It's okay, because we have the Relax Estate, a fully automated AI platform that allows you to create a trust, a will, and a power of attorney all at the fingertips. And if you are an insurance agent, tax professional, financial advisor, notary, or in any business profession, you can even white label this to your clients. You grow your business, you help your clients, everybody wins. Visit our website, www.therelaxestate.com. Right here, therelaxestate.com, and you can create a trust for your family, or if you're a business owner, want to use it to scale your business and help your clients, you can do that as well. Now back to this wonderful episode.
That's a thing.
That's where all of us lose our girl. Where all of us fight with our girl.
It's rapping niggas.
Lifestyle inflation creeps in.
Rapping niggas done bought us some shoes that was $1,200.
Raises don't feel life-changing. Money stress shifts, but doesn't disappear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Upper middle class, $9,000 to $12,000. Mm-hmm. Optionality increases. That's where we lose our girl.
Yeah. That's where she lose us.
Right.
Yeah. We lose her. She lost us.
Right. Time becomes valuable. Financial mistakes feel expensive.
Yeah.
Income
that's good.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. That line. Yep.
Financial mistakes. Yeah. Income improves. Complexity increases. That's the other part that's tough to explain to people.
Can't understand it.
That complexity has increased now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Joe Budden put it on the dot. Mistakes feel expensive. Now, I would say once we're middle class, that's when we start the process of getting a mentor, right? That third tier, we're on tier 4 now. So that third tier is when we actually start getting a mentor. But here is where mentorship is very, very important, right? Use a scenario. Had a client, bought a house, didn't have a mentor, just kind of went through the process. Well, because with no mentorship, it cost him an extra $15,000 to $20,000 on the bill. And because unbeknownst to me, he didn't talk to his financial advisor, we was not able to structure him where he had his own construction company that did the flip. So it was way more tax deductions we could have done if he had his operating business collecting the income and also his construction business. Also, because he did not let me know, we could have had it in service a year earlier so he can do a cost segregation study and get more write-offs by having that property in use as a storage company. So he's still getting income. And when you're getting income, it's in service. So that means it justifies your write-off and your cost segregation study. So yes, did he lose money out of his pocket? No. But did he pay more in taxes? Yes. Did he pay more to workers? Yes. So this is why mentorship is so important, because you're able to learn from other people's mistakes. You're able to go to A to Z, not A to B to C and further down the road. So mistakes get way more costlier when you're in that tax bracket. Don't make that mistake. Get a mentor and have he or she help you along the way or whatever financial journey you're on.
12 grand to 25 grand per month. Lifestyle is no longer the constraint. Oh, baby.
That's wealthy. Who made that? Tracy Morgan's
Iowa. Maya, Indiana.
This is a great conversation because wealth looks totally different. I have clients in Miami, same state, clients in Miami, $12,000 a month, definitely not wealthy. Clients here in Jacksonville, cost of living is half of Miami. That $12,000 stretches a long way. I have clients literally in Iowa. That $12,000 stretches even more, but they have state taxes. So wealth is in the eye of the beholder. But in that tax bracket, this is then when we are trying to partner, right? We have the mentorship, we have the investments. Now let's get into the room. Now let's find other people to build relationships with, because ROI in reality is relationship over independence. Who else is like-minded like you, making the same income like you? What other deals can you do with people to grow, to expand, to scale? If you now to the point where you want to leave your job, right? What other people are leaving their job as well? Can you partner with a person? Can you guys do some type of joint ventures? You want to do a product? How can we split the cost with a person that I trust and I know through mentorship, through being in the room, through having the power of proximity that'll help me grow quicker? This is where the real wealth starts, because you're leveraging relationships. You have enough money to not use your money by OPM other people's money. You're leveraging debt the good way, not spending money the bad way. And this is where your wealth acceleration begins.
Focus shifts to structure and efficiency. Taxes and decisions matter more. Money becomes strategic.
Join us in our school community as we have modules, classes, courses to go from a taxpayer to a wealth builder. How to use our cliff, dip, bear strategy to do better with your investments. How to acquire businesses and how to use your retirement plan to grow and not pay taxes. What? I can have a retirement plan grow and not pay taxes? Yes, your IRA or even your 401k at your employer. This and other things we focus on in our school community, the Relax Investor. And guess what? You get 7 days free access, and you get our weekly coaching calls every Wednesday. You and hundreds of people ask questions to 6, 7, 8, and even 9-figure business owners that tell you how they created their business, how they run their business, and how their finances is as smooth as it can be. So click the link below and join us in our Relax Investor Academy to help you scale your finances.
Yes.
Should. Yeah. It should. Yeah.
Rich, 25 grand to 80 grand
a month.
See, and this should be inspiring to some people out there. What I spent a lot of time on was the gaps. Income is no longer the focus. Preservation replaces accumulation. Control matters more than growth. This is where perspective changes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I've been living.
Now, this is interesting because wealth is on a higher total pole than being rich, but the average American rich is on a higher total pole than wealth. And this is why I say wealth is in the eye of the beholders, because you have to be rich first before you get wealthy. And this is financial literacy 101 right here in front of us. Most Americans surveyed think that being rich is $12,000 to $80,000 and being wealthy is $12,000 to $20,000. It's the opposite. And then wealth is also assets. So when we're here, we should be acquiring assets. We should not be paying taxes. If you're making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a month, if you're a W-2 employee, max out that 401k. Do the whole max of your HSA. And then buy property. So like I said, have that consultant business or that coaching business to offset the rest of the income. If you have a spouse, if he or she's not working, have them become a real estate agent so that now if you have rental property, all the losses is tied to your active income, not your passive income. If we're a business owner, then we should then have a C Corp because we're running some type of advertisements, and then have our S Corp pay our C Corp a management fee. And then that management fee with that C Corp, since it's taxed at 21%, we spend that down with advertising like Facebook ads and all the systems that's tied to it. We can literally not be paying any taxes because we're income shifting and we have our structure put in place. That, my friend, is how the wealthy keeps more and scales the quickest.
Then the next jump is wild after this. Millionaire, 1 million to 2 million per year. Capital works harder than labor. Decisions matter more than effort. Risk becomes asymmetric. I love that one. Money is an operating system.
Should be.
Now, most people say who are millionaires, it was hard to make the first million and it's even harder to make the second million. And that is so true from what I see with my clients and people that we actually coach and mentor. The reason why is because we had that inevitability. It's like we made it, but then also we want to keep it. So the things that we did to bust our butt to get to that first million, we kind of be content and we kind of back off. It's like driving, right? When we're driving, we're all clear, we're aligned, okay? But if we make one wrong move in the other lane, we crash. We make one move in the other lane, we crash. But the biggest hindrance is on the left or right-hand side, the driver sees you. But the one behind you, that's the biggest risk, because we could be going balls to the wall. We pump those brakes behind us, immediate crash. And that happens because we stopped doing the things that was successful as we grew in tax brackets. If you're making $1 million a year, you should have 2 or 3 mentors. You should not be paying any taxes. You should be finding a way to scale that 1 million to 5 million, because success loves speed. Since you have the extra disposable income, if you're still doing the 50, 30, 20 rule, all that disposable income should go towards mentorship, investing, and find a way to reduce and eliminate your taxes. Going from 1 million to 2 million might be tough, but going from 2 million to 4 million will be easier. Going from 4 million to 8 million will be even more easier, because now you have more money from an advertisement, from a marketing standpoint, just to put gas on the fire. So the reason why people get stuck in between 1 to 2 million is because they stop doing the things that they were doing that became successful, when on the opposite side, they should lean in and use all that extra money to scale as quick as possible. So there you have it, guys. Those are the 7 principles of wealth, how to get rich step by step, day by day. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Well, actually, thank God every day is a day, and we wake up in the morning time. But this is a great tutorial for you, wherever you are at, to step by step get to the point where you get to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. Rome was not built in a day, but with system, structure, and leverage other people's money, you can quickly excel. Now, it's not about income. It's about assets. We want you, wherever income that you are, to acquire assets. If you have lower income, let's acquire assets, but let's be more conservative. So if you ever need it, it's there. As we go higher on that income, then those risks get larger, but we have hedges. We have life insurance. We have lawyers looking over contracts. We have multiple mentors helping you so you don't make the same mistakes that they did. That's not costly. A restaurant owner losing $100,000 because they wasn't done correctly, didn't know how to run a restaurant. For example, a person I'm coaching right now had a restaurant 3 years ago, lost $110,000 because a few things wasn't structured properly. If I was there before, we would have had the structure and had to talk to a restaurant owner who ran things improperly so she could learn from that mistake, but also talk to a restaurant owner that's my client that is doing things properly and is profitable for it. That's why mentorship is so important. So as we grow our income, let's grow those assets. For more information like this, like, subscribe, and share it to our channel. And congratulations, Joe Budden, 900 episodes. Woof! Putting in work. Let's make some painful progress together, y'all. Peace.